today I'm in Texas, and I'm at Under the Radar, and if you look, it's very under the radar. So they say everything's bigger in Texas, so let's go see what they got. So I'm here with the owner, Paul. Paul, good. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Paul Smyers. I'm the manager and brewer here at Under the Radar Brewing in Houston, Texas. And we've been here for about 5.5 years old, married at 6, and chugging along and having fun.
Awesome. So how did you come up with the name? Because I love the Under the Radar thing. Texas, UFO, kind of just works.
The idea was really, we started with, as kind of 3 goobers in a garage, kind of, just horsing around, and we started to get some notoriety by going to Houston Dynamo is the MLS soccer team here in Houston, and the guys started going to tailgate. They were big soccer fans, and so they'd be out in the parking lot just giving beer away, that they had made, and people would come by and it was free beer, so of course people were stopping.
Beer brings people together.
It turns out, yeah, and especially when it's free. So over time, people were like, we started to seek out the guys, in the parking lot, at tailgates, before the game, and so it became like, hey, this is really good. Where can I find this? And then so that became the impetus of like, hey, let's all quit our jobs and put all of our resources into this.
And sometimes it doesn't work out, but it seems it's working out for you guys.
It's been a tumultuous road to say the least. Any small business is hard, but breweries are even harder, I would argue. So yeah, it's been
especially
a rocky
this time with COVID and everything.
Yeah, it's been a road, but a rocky road, but it's been a fun one, and we're still plugging away in here. So when we got the space here and started to move forward in earnest, and kind of the idea was there was a lot of other breweries popping up. The Karbach was getting pretty well established. St. Arnold is a big local brewery. We were like, I don't think this is ever going to be us. We'll probably stay kind of small and scrappy, and make beer for people looking for good beer, and so we might, we still don't package, we're not in grocery stores where we sell to bars and restaurants, but it's kind of the idea was like, we'll stay small and under the radar, and and let people come find us, and we'll try to meet them halfway and go find them as much as we can.
That's great. So the name just means it too. That's
right.
Good.
Yeah.
Like I was telling him though, I love little under the radar kind of breweries, and so far this is the only thing I've tried. It is delicious. But this is your favorite, you said, right?
This is my current go-to. Yeah, this is our.
So let's talk about this beautiful thing.
This is our Third Coast grapefruit IPA.
It smells amazing from the start, but definitely a flavorful IPA.
Yeah, it's pretty West Coast in origin. In terms of the base beer. A lot of Chinook, a lot of Columbus and Centennial hop.
It doesn't punch you in the face. You're not licking pine cones on this.
Exactly.
You actually taste the grapefruit.
But so there is some grapefruit puree in there. We do add some grapefruit in the boil kettle during Whirlpool.
I love puree. If you do, a lot of people do flavoring. Flavoring doesn't really matter. If you want fruit, you got to use fruit.
You get alcohol with, or you get like a harsh, you get a harsh burn. I think with extracts and stuff like that. But then we also, to follow it up, it's got the dry hop is just a ton of Amarillo. So I think it's like 20, 25 pounds of Amarillo is in the dry hop, and so you look at you just get a lot of nice, just like a grapefruity punch coming from that. So
that's nice. I like it. So speaking of COVID, how did COVID affect you guys? This is it's like the 3rd or 4th film since COVID, kind of stopped the world, but did it really affect you guys that much being under the radar?
It did and it didn't. Obviously it was a sea change for everybody. But we've been so small and again kind of small and scrappy that when things really got bad and all the bars were shut down and we had to be creative on how we could stay functioning. Would have some amount of money coming in.
It's good with the outside space because you can do the
that helps a lot. Yeah. And we had some weird, quirky things with the way our land is set up, so we could find some ways to kind of skirt some of the regulations legally.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. But we were, when things got really bad, it was, we were talking to a lot of our friends and, at other breweries and, in town, and everyone was like, man, we're just like, everybody's getting laid off and everybody's just, things are really bad right now. And we were sort of like, well, there was only 6 of us before, there's only 4 of us now,
Right.
And so it's like, being small and scrappy, or, being like pushed to the limit and, running on razor thin margins and, and kind of just duke it out as we go along. We're like, this is just Tuesday for us, you know, like we can. This is easy, you know.
And it kind of worked probably with all the big bars and stuff closed. You got new people, you know.
Yeah,
I need a drink.
Well, that was serendipitously there was a Texas law that was repealed in September of 2019, and basically it said that breweries could not sell packaged beer out of the brewery. So you couldn't sell bottles, you couldn't sell, cans. You could do like growlers and stuff like that, you know. But if there's something on tap, you couldn't actually sell packaged beer to somebody walking in. So that passed, you know, without any, nobody had. It's September of 2019. Nobody was thinking COVID's going to come, you know. So that passed, and so everybody kind of started to scale up their, the amount of package they were keeping in house to sell. You know, like everybody's got merchandise, refrigerators, and that kind of thing. So when COVID hit, that was the lifeline for everybody because, like all the breweries were, set up shop, set up tents outside, and people were driving up and, get mixed match 4-packs and, and all kinds of, awesome packaged beer. Houston was great. They really came out and supported local. It was really cool to see, people coming in and going out of their way to come to the brewery instead of going to HEB to load up,
Helping out.
Yeah, so it was really cool. I think a lot of us were in the brewing scene were very touched by how much, it's like you guys really love us, don't you? But it was cool. So luckily that happened and we were able to maintain.
Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you want to?
No. Yeah. Again, we're small. We're under the radar. We're a 10-barrel system. So yeah, we're as scrappy as it gets. But it's fun. We really enjoy it.
So now we get to get to my favorite part, which is the testing part. So I'm excited, man. Cheers.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go. Let's walk us through this.
Starting off, this is our Radar Love Hefeweizen. It's one of the first beers that we made. I think we mentioned being out in tailgates.
This is like a tailgate beer.
Yeah.
Got that banana fragrance.
That's a very straightforward German style Hefeweizen. So nice banana, clove. I tried to ferment it at 2 different temperatures. Cool early to develop the banana, then I heat it up a little bit to try to get some of that phenolic kick out of it. One of the things I love about Hefeweizens and being a Belgian style beers as well is that it's the chance. It's a good chance to show Americans what yeast does. Because a lot of the beers that we consume, with IPAs and lagers and pilsners, are pretty neutral. But with there's no banana in there, there's no clove in there. But
it tricks you.
But the yeast made it. People will be like, "Oh, this is good. What is that?" You say it's banana. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's banana." But like, so when do you put the bananas in there? People are like, "Can I get that banana beer?" Like it's. So it's fun to explain. Well, it's just yeast. So it's a cool opportunity to show again what different stuff does in beer. And this is a great expression of what yeast can do for beer.
Hepatizers are really a big popular thing, and this one is top notch. Like I said, you get the aroma right away, but the flavor, man. It's like crisp. You get the banana after, but I mean, this is a solid. I always say Hepatizers is one of the Hepatizers. It's early in my drinking, but it's one of those beers. I think if someone's new to the craft beer, then that's where they go. That's like that and a blonde, or that's your start. It's just like, oh man, this is delicious. This has more flavor than Bud Light or whatever. And that's a good open the door beer.
Yeah, man. but you also you get tailgate.
Great. This is a great one to get people to tailgate.
It turns out it's pretty hot here in Houston, about 8 months out of the year.
It's hot now. It's pretty.
It's nice now. This is the 2 weeks stretch. And normally it's going to be 80% humidity by now.
First time in Texas, I've been operating any winter clothes and it's winter back home. It's pretty chilly here.
You kind of spell, yeah. You kind of spell, I guess. It's pretty bad. But this is a great warm weather beer. And going back to your beer point of it's cool that they have a beer. People that aren't familiar with craft beer, when you hear it most, it's like, well, I don't like anything that's hot.
Yeah,
that doesn't
really
usually
the first thing.
And so that doesn't. I think what you're adverse to is not actually hops.
Yeah.
So this is a cool way to kind of ease people. Ease on the water. So
that's great. Great fragrance. Like a candle.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Awesome. So what do we have next?
All right, so next up is our Dirty Blonde. Blonde ale. Yeah, relatively hoppy for the style. We use a lot of Chinook in it. So you get like a nice, kind of herbally herbal finish at the end of it. It's a nice, again, leather, it's got some complexity in there.
I'm not usually a blonde person. Blonde to me is like the Bud Light. So this one is so what's the flavor of that?
So I think it's a lot of Chinook. We use a USO5 strain, which is pretty crucial. So you baseball for that is my preferred baseball. It's Maris Otter, which has a nice crackery, kind of characteristics of that animal. We also use Vienna in it to coloring. So you get some a little bit of original sweetness from that. It's got nutty notes, but I think it's just a herbal finish from
I'll say in the back half, it's still long, it's still really smooth. And again, this one is a great step for people that are into the craft beer. Man, this is flavorful. I usually hate blondes. I'm especially on a hot day. I feel like there's another tailgate.
Right.
Let's get drunk in the sun before we go inside and watch the concert.
And also, it comes through at 6.5.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So it's actually surprisingly strong for the it doesn't drink like it at all. That's kind of fun thing too. It's the job out as well.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Like people more into the craft beer. Whoa, this is like beer. Yeah, maybe filled or also this regular light beer.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next on the line, man?
So next up is our Calvin and Hops. It's a white IPA. This is a fun style because not a lot of people make it, or you find it seasonal. We made it for one of our founders got married, and so we were doing a beer for them.
We talked about. I met said couple while here.
Yeah. So we've got a brewery dog named Calvin. It's their dog. He's a white
breweries are. Every breweries are. I love that. It's like dogs are celebrities.
Yeah. So it's a white Labradoodle. His name's Calvin. So the beer is called Calvin and Hops. But what's cool about the wedding and the style of beer is that the style of beer was created by one of the brewers at Deschutes and a brewer from Boulevard Brewing, Kansas City, Missouri. And so the idea was it was a collaboration of make an IPA and then and wet it with we're brewing, do a collaboration of an IPA and a Belgian style wit, a farmhouse ale. So so it was kind of two styles coming together to make one cool thing, So that was the kind of the concept of it was for somebody's wedding.
I like the whole white wedding thing.
Yeah. We brewed it like a traditional IPA, but then we used a Belgian
banana fragrance.
It was banana. I really get coriander and orange peel out of it. But then you get those nice hops coming through on the back end. So it starts off like a Belgian wit, but then the hops kind of linger in your nose after.
This is a really interesting IPA because it's not your typical slap you with hops. I mean, it's so flavorful. It reminds me of if a Hefeweizen and IPA had a sweet little baby. This would be the sweet little baby.
Yeah.
Now, a white IPA, is that normally like a winter beer?
You see it more. I know a couple that stand out that I see at Deschutes makes their Chainbreaker, which I feel like is normally like a kind of a fall release, late fall.
Next year, Quad has the white day or snow day.
Snow day. That was, I don't know. The first time I saw that was this year. I don't know if that's been I
think it's a white IPA. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it would make sense. This year was the first time that I had tried it, but I've been to Deschutes several times and was always going to take it on Chainbreaker. But then New Belgium makes their accumulation, which is normally going to release. So I don't think that nothing about it really says to me this is a nice winter beer, other than it's got a lot of kind of candied orange and flavor that I guess can carry over for the holidays and that kind of thing. But
well, I say like IPAs are like I'm gonna move my grass kind of thing. Like that's what I like. I like a hot summer. That's what I'm gonna do. This I can drink this anytime. This is
it's nice and easy.
Yeah, really easy.
And again, it's a chance to showcase what yeast can do for your beer. Which is it's hard to come by when you're talking about like IPAs and other pale ales and stuff like that, where yeast is doing like a large part of the lifting, but it's kind of taking backseat to the hops and the malt profile.
Exactly. Wow. They know their science here. What do we have next?
And last for this one is our lemongrass Kolsch. So our Kolsch is, we were kind of playing around with doing a traditional German style Kolsch, which comes from Cologne, Germany. Cologne, if you're
strong fragrance.
Yeah. But we were also kind of thinking about making a Mexican lager. But then we met some guys there's a local restaurant called Dackenbach who does a Korean fried chicken. And so they wanted a house beer, and so we sat down with their chef and their guys. And lemongrass was something that really paired well with their flavor profile. So we came up with lemongrass Kolsch.
You get the citrus. You also get like that. I want to say something, but you get that weed like aroma.
Okay, sure.
And that, yeah, you definitely get the citrus.
Yeah. So that one actually has some hopefully corn in it as well.
Those are really sweet. You get a lot of fruit on that.
A lot of fruits. Lemongrass is hard to. It's tricky. We boil a bunch of lemongrass and make the syrup out of it.
Oh wow! So you do that before?
Well, we make the beer and then we do it as a late addition.
Yeah.
But lemongrass you got to be really careful with, because if you overdo it, it just becomes Fruit Loops. Like my Fruit Loops here, it's just lemongrass. It tastes like lemongrass. It turns out. So going back to what we were talking about, like cereal beer, people are doing all that crazy stuff. If you ever want to make a Fruit Loop beer, lemongrass is your go-to.
Dude, this is really good. So this is an exclusive at a restaurant?
At a restaurant, and then we saw it here as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, I just really like the aroma of that, but the flavor is like you get a lot of fruit. Like you definitely get a lemony thing, but it's almost like a tricky thing. You almost get like there's other fruit like notes coming through with it.
Sure. Yeah, it's a lot of it's going to come from. We use
orange,
orange, and you get some
maybe
white citrus.
Yeah.
This is Amarillo is one of the hops in there, so you can both see the grapefruit coming through. Yeah.
Awesome. So these were all light. Right? You have dark that.
We sure do. Yeah.
Let's do round two. Okay, so now we're at round two. Let's walk around this.
All right, so this is our Game Top Mango Milkshake IPA. Milkshakes are styles of beer. A lot of people like Urban South here in Houston. It's just they bleed really into those PPE too. Out Conroe is really big on them.
You get the mango right away.
We're big ripe mango. We also did a lot of lactose, so we did finish the sweet. We don't get lactose on the nose necessarily.
Luckily, I'm not lactose tolerant.
Yeah. It's big, bright, a lot of citrus, but it has that pleasant, like fleshy, bitter, hot bitter on the back end, like biting into a fresh mango, papaya. They get papaya as well.
Yeah.
But a nice coating mouthfeel. It's relatively thick. It drinks thick relative to the appearance. Just a fun beer, and it's a style again. I'm not that into it. I was kind of. When a lot of the other guys were leaning into it, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit, but now I'm encumbered. These guys are awesome, So
the best way to describe this is like you did. Like it is like biting for an IPA, right? It's like biting into a fruit.
Right.
So you guys did such a good job of not. A lot of people say hop forward. So you were not hop forward IPA. Really, that's the best description of this beer is like biting into like a mango. It's so fruity, so good, and then you get like the hops at the end, but it's not like a hard hop. Like it's so good.
Yeah, it's a new.
This is for someone if you learn to get them an IPA. I feel like this is like here. Sure.
Should we start here? Yeah. Or we get you know.
This is the summer. This is what I'm like. This is kind of
Yeah,
it's almost
yeah.
like a hazy. This is what I want to do. That you're not going to get like sick after downing like a whole bunch of IPAs in the hot.
Sure, right. But yeah, it's nice, and it's also we'll get groups of like there's always one person who was like, well, I don't really drink beer. I'm like, why don't you try this Mango Milkshake IPA? And you say Mango Milkshake IPA for like an hour ago, like just give it a shot. And it tends to be
refreshing. Like
it actually tends to be like, oh, I can do this. So yeah, that's good beer.
That is awesome. You definitely knocked this one out of the park. Is this one of your big sellers?
It's something we do like sporadically. So like, when we carry it, we sell fast, but then we'll go a couple months.
That is that's delicious. All right. What do we have next? Let's get Amber.
Next up is our Buccaneer Rum Bock. So this is a fun beer. We brew a Bock, which is a nice amber lager. Lager for about 3 months, or 3 weeks rather. And then we rested on rum soaked oak chips versus doing like a barrel age. So what you get vanilla and oak out of the rum chips, but to me it actually starts to kind of like it turns into almost like a coconutty kind of a character. But it's a fun beer. It's an easy sipper, but a lot of cool flavor, and you get a little bit of like a rum, like booze character out of it. But really it's the barrel that the rum and the chips. And to me, it gets woodier and a little sweeter.
I love Ambers. Ambers is my favorite type of beer, actually. Yeah, perfectly described the rum, kind of like the coconut. You get like most of that at the end. Very smooth, very easy going. Love that beautiful amber color instead of salt as well. That's it.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's the Bocks are fun style beer. Shiner Bock is obviously one of the big ones in Texas, but there's a lot of used to make a really good job with Bocks. And they're just good beers because they're amber. There's a lot of flavor. Kind of go back to like introducing people to beer. It is a light, sweet beer, but it's got a lot of going on. Our base Bock has a lot of caramel and toffee kind of nutty notes, on the front end, right up against the palate.
Like a light pull.
But then it kind of dries out pretty quickly, on the palate, so it's you're ready for the next sip pretty quickly.
Man, this was delicious. So far, not a bad beer. I would drink.
At 1,000.
What do we have next? Now we're going to dark territory.
Going to dark, yeah. So this is our Porter Authority. This is again one of our early beers. That's
this is back to tailgating style.
This one's great. This is one of my favorites. It's chocolatey but malty. It's really more of an English style porter. So it's got a lot of big punchy flavor. Again, for chocolate, coconut,
that coffee smell right away.
Yeah, but it actually does not drink heavy. Relatively light body. So even when it's 120 degrees outside, it feels
really light. Really light.
Yeah, you can you can drink a dark beer in the middle of summer and not feel like not feel terrible about that.
Usually porters, since they're so kind of thick, that's why they're more of a winter thing. But yeah, you're right. This one's so light. This is like an all year round beer.
So we carry this all year round just because there's on any given Saturday we're gonna get a couple of guys like, man, I really prefer dark beers.
Wow. Funny you should say that.
Belly on up.
Yeah, man, you definitely get the toffee flavor right away. The fragrance is great. The flavor is so smooth for a porter. Was not expecting that. It's. Oh man. With some of the porters, you kind of get almost like a vanilla-y.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh man, that's delicious. Definitely not the first dark beer out of the park with that one as well. What type of porter
You need something to.
I can drink that myself. That's not too heavy. And last on the list.
All right, so this is very small batch. Every year we make we have a series called Laughing Park. It's an imperial beer every year. It's got a real milk style, this beer was imperial brownie. And we
hear that one.
it was favorite beers is
Same
Laguna.
beer thing. Tell us it's strong. It's strong.
You can smell the booze, but it actually doesn't drink that strong. One of my favorite beers is Laguna's Brown Sugar, which to me is always read like this is almost barley wine, but it pulls back just enough to make it like just a nice big full body beer. So that was kind of what I had in mind. Like I want to try to get somewhere like this in that ballpark. Turned out well. We were really happy with it, but then we aged up with the reserve barrels for the year. So it comes in at 14%. And it teeters on barley wine. I think we're probably like a very long forward, but a lot of big dark stone fruit. I get long grain.
Say lumpy, I get that right away.
Fig.
Right.
Is a big one. Fig.
This doesn't taste strong. This doesn't taste like.
Doesn't drink like 14%.
Yeah, this is 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely do know how to taste it.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. So if you come, definitely
pretty easily.
yeah. If you're driving, like what?
You know it's 14% when you finish that. You definitely get
But it doesn't.
a little pomegranate and a little
You don't have that out. Like it's funny because the smell you smell like, oh, this is gonna be strong. Like you taste it. It's just so fruity, like eating like a thick bar or something. It's such a flavorful profile. Man, you disguise that alcohol good.
Yeah.
But maybe too good.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but it's a nice beer. We had fun with that one.
This is the strongest one you have on tap.
Yeah. And thank you to Woodford Reserve for the barrels.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all.
So it takes like a year to age it a year.
We did for a year. We were sampling pretty often and agitating, pretty frequently. We probably at 6 months it was probably fine, but we were like, let's do it. Let's just do it. Yeah, just let it sit. Like a year sounded like we were like, 12 months sounds good. But it really did not take on a whole lot of different flavor in the barrels between 6 and 12 months. It just kind of, I think it maybe it refined itself a little bit more, a little less malt forward.
Yeah.
Now than it was.
It doesn't have it over. Usually, especially strong dark beers, usually you have that big malt after. But this one's not. It's very smooth.
Yeah, I actually feel like the malt character is almost more aromatic than anything else. So.
Really surprising. Especially with smell. Delicious. Delicious. Well, thank you, man. Every beer here was very drinkable. Scary drinkable. So, I wish you guys nothing but the best, and I can't wait to see what else you guys do. So.
Yeah, we're here, we're small, we're scrappy, but we're plugging away and making new stuff. We've got new beers in the fermenter right now, and those will come soon. And yeah, if you're in Houston or out and about, please come by and see us.
Yeah, as I say, if you're in Houston, there's a lot of brewery options. Like, I was shocked at how many breweries are in Houston, but I would suggest going under the radar and checking out this one. Thanks, man. This is great.
Thank you. Chit-chat.